find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Cryptid Cocktail Party, a show where we have a few drinks, share a few laughs, take a dive into the unknown. I'm your host, Dave, and today I'm joined by good friend Jamie Hurley. How's it going, bud?
I'm hanging in there, brother. How about you?
I'm doing all right. It's been a couple months, but I'm feeling good. I know you've had a rough couple months as well.
Yeah, it's been a couple 6 months for me. Like it's been, one kick in the pants after the other.
Oh yeah, we both got our cars stolen around the same time.
Yeah, how does that happen?
Dude, I don't know. And yours is even a wilder story than mine. Mine was because of a TikTok trend. Yours is because of a disgruntled employee, I'm assuming, from a fucking insurance company.
Yeah, my insurance company's tow guy stole my car and then did God knows what with it out in Manchester.
Dude, I don't know.
They cut me a $6,000 check, so that's all I can. And I got the car back, so I'm happy.
Oh, so you got the car back and money?
Oh, I got the car back.
Is that like hush money? Like, hey, listen.
The car was jacked up. That's like all scratched up. They stole everything from the inside that wasn't bolted down. But
which is most of a car. So I mean, you got lucky there.
Yeah. So yeah, I got it back, and they basically like, oh wow, we really screwed up.
Well, and I mean, I've watched that show on the Discovery Channel about tow truck drivers. They're not like the most wholesome dudes.
I won't get into all the details about the guy who came to pick up mine. I've worked with a lot of great people in my life. A bunch of my good friends own auto body shops.
No, dude, disparage the fuck out of them, bro. Fucking call them out.
Guitars. I can't even disparage them because I don't even know what their name is. A guy showed up with an unnamed truck.
Dude, what if it wasn't even? What if it wasn't even from the insurance company? What if just some dude was like, I'm gonna test this out, and you're like the first mark. He's like, yeah, I'm here from the insurance company.
Yeah, who knows? It honestly could have happened.
Oh, you got suckered like an old lady on a telescam.
Seriously, he said he didn't speak English, but what he didn't know was that I speak a little bit of Spanish. And I heard him saying some sketchy stuff. And, I love my Latino friends and Latina friends and everything. But it's like, he was on his earpiece.
So when you followed that up with "but," I thought you were gonna be like, "But you're a bunch of shady motherfuckers."
Yeah, no.
Be like, whoa, you can't say that on the show.
No, it's it was just I literally told my wife, and you can ask her. I was like, I don't think that my car is going to show up at my friend's garage, and just based on the couple things that I picked up, well. It didn't. And he called me a couple hours later and was like, did you pick up your car or do something else? And I was like, nope, car's gone.
Yours got stolen from your driveway. I woke up to go to work and it was just like, that's not, I didn't, Anyways.
You got it back though too, right?
Oh no, it's totaled.
Oh, it was totaled.
Yeah, I had to get a new car. I got a Chevy Spark, a little tiny fuck.
Oh, well, at least you got that.
Yeah, it was a pain in the ass to try and get a new car with my credit, though. Let me tell you what, boy, I had to go through Carvana because they were the only ones that would accept it.
Oh, God.
It's fine.
Well, if you ever need help.
It's a 2020. I'm only paying like $290 a month, which is more than what I would like to pay, but it is what it is. Anyways, Jamie, I got one question for you.
What's that?
Are you a cryptids guy?
I am, and I'm not.
I elaborate.
I appreciate it. I love a good conspiracy theory. I love a good spooky, theory about some crazy stuff. Who doesn't? I've had weird stuff happen to me.
Oh, yeah?
I've been to the Museum of Cryptozoology multiple times up in Portland, Maine.
Hell yeah, dude. That place is fun as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy myself with it, but I do not take is such a deep dive as some people do.
All right.
I do know about the stuff.
So you're open to the idea of cryptids. You're just not someone who goes out searching for, like, you're not going to sit there and be like, I'm going to Google everything about this one thing real quick.
Oh no, but if I see something with like red eyes looking at me through the woods, I'm like, it's either the cops or some animal I don't know doesn't exist.
I like that the cops have the same retinal reflection as a black
Yeah.
bear.
Right.
I mean, they are both very dangerous predators, but that's not
The funny thing is, where I live now, all my neighbors have game cameras and stuff out in their backyards and everything. So
Why?
it's like,
you live.
because we get bears like wandering through from all the you used to live out in this area.
Yeah, but I lived in downtown.
It's so, dude, it's I'm 3 minutes from where you were, and they have cut down so much stuff.
Oh, so
and
they're all just kind of
wiped
like,
out the
yeah.
wildlife. So we got bears, deer, turkeys, like bobcats, everything walking through here now.
Well, Jamie, I love that you brought up the fact that people are cutting down trees and the fact that you look like a fucking lumberjack right now, because today I'm going to tell you about some, I don't know how, we're going to tell you about some fearsome creatures of the Lumberwoods. Are you ready for this?
I love it. I want to hear it.
It's very fitting. All of this is coming together perfectly.
Awesome.
What were you going to ask? What's up?
What's the Lumberwoods? Just, you talking about the woods in general where they're felling trees and stuff like that?
Yeah. I'm going to get into it right now, baby. I got a whole script ready for you.
All right, I'm ready.
So feel free to, if you have any questions or comments, or if you want to just poke fun at anything I say, feel free to jump right in, bud.
Oh, I'll do that.
All right. So Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods is a 1910 book / fantasy field guide that was written by William Thomas Cox, who, fun fact, was Minnesota's first state forester and commissioner of conservation. The book details the North American folklore and the tall tale animals that lumberjacks and outdoorsmen would tell at their logging camps. It's either like as a means to pass the time, hazing those that were new to the jobs, or cautionary tales to those who might try and wander away from camp alone at night. Most stories were used jokingly, while others were used to explain away mysterious disappearances or like unexplained phenomena. And that's what I'm going to tell you about today. And I chose 4 of the best ones to share with you. So are you ready to hear these?
I'm ready. And that's funny you bring that up, because we didn't plan this at all. I had no idea. And I was like, hey, they're clear cutting every single spot around here where you used to live, to basically just gentrify it.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, can you really gentrify New Hampshire? It's pretty much.
Yeah.
It's pretty much as white and weird as it can get.
Yeah, it gets worse. Trust me. It gets worse. But anyways, yeah.
You ready for this?
Let's hear it.
You good?
I'm ready.
So the first fearsome critter that I want to tell you about today is called the Tripodero. I'm assuming you're not familiar with this.
I have not heard of the Tripodero.
All right. Found mostly in the foothill forests, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, the chaparral, which according to Wikipedia is like a shrubland plant community type of biome thing in California.
Okay.
The Tripodera is said to have 2 telescopic legs that allows it to like adapt to its surroundings. You want to walk over all the shrubs. You want to hide behind some small bushes. Fucking go gadget legs, baby. There you go. Fucking telescopic up and down.
It can just extend and shorten its legs as it wants.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's also said to have the tail of a kangaroo and a body that, while not very large, is very solidly built. And as for its head, this thing is all snout, like just basically from front to back, just one big snout. And according to the book, this feature allows it to hunt for food. Basically, what it will do is while it's walking around, it'll like occasionally like telescope its body like above the brush for like a little reconnaissance mission.
It's like a meerkat with mechanical legs or something like that.
Kinda, yeah. Now, if it sees prey within 10 rods, which is 165 feet, I had to look that up.
What are rods?
So a rod is 65 feet or 55 feet. I don't know, dude. It's an old timey book. It was written like in the 1910s. So who the fuck knows?
Fair enough.
But 10 rods is 165 feet. So what it'll do is it will aim with its snout and then tilt its body until it's at the right elevation, and then shoot a dried ball of clay at it that it keeps stored in the left side of its mouth, and it can shoot these with such force that it will it'll knock out or just straight up like kill its victim. Basically, it's basically like a living mortar. Like you can like aim it, tilt it back and forth. You're looking at me like you don't know what's happening right now.
I thought I heard a lot of stuff about cryptids and know a good amount about most of them. But where did you say this originated from?
This was told by lumberjacks and like frontiersmen in California.
In what year?
Oh, this book was written in the 30s, I believe, 1910. So this is like old school shit.
Oh my God! It just sounds like I don't even know. This is on a whole new level for me.
Yeah.
Like shooting clay mortars. I'm trying to process it to make it something.
Only gets
real.
weirder from here.
All right, keep telling me. Keep telling me.
No, once it spray, I'm not saying this story gets more weirder. I'm saying that as it progresses through these 4 cryptids that I chose, they get weirder and weirder. But once its prey is incapacitated, it'll lower its body back down and just fucking hoof it through the brush to get to its prey. Where in the book it says, it quotes, "It'll stay there until the very last bone is cracked and eaten clean." So that's a nightmare.
So aliens, or
what are you gonna try and explain it away?
Or that's what I'm gonna look at it as first, because I think I just have that natural tendency
to go straight to aliens, or just to explain things away?
No, not straight to aliens, but think it's like, just some drunken survivalist, living out in that part of the area of the time.
Has telescopic legs.
Yeah, you don't know. They could strap on some stilts real quick and just kind of jaunt out. Come on, like honestly, how fast could you strap on stilts and then take them off and then put them back on again?
Probably not that fast, dude. Like, you gotta imagine
20 seconds tops.
If you're a skilled like clown, I don't think like anyone can just. Could you do it?
Maybe, but what else? But what else are you doing in the 1930s, like 100 years ago?
This book was written in 1910.
So even
these stories come before that. It's not even like he compiled all these stories into one book in 1910. Doesn't mean that they were from 1910.
So what were they drinking?
I don't know, probably fucking moonshine, but they were using fucking wheat that had ergot in it, so they're all just hallucinating, tripping balls.
Yeah, they all just tripping balls in the forest the whole time, and it's like
so that's basically the gist of the Tripodero.
That's a wild. I've never heard anything like that. That's a wild one.
Are you ready for this next one?
Yes, I think so.
This next one's called the Funeral Mountain Terrashot. Now, the funeral
terror or terra?
Terra.
Like terra as in
like
earth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're gonna love this one. The Funeral Mountain Terrashots were first reported by a group of Mormon immigrants traveling through the Funeral Mountain Range in California. They were probably relocating since they've pretty much been kicked out of everywhere they've ever tried to settle since the beginning of their fucking religion, or I guess cult, whatever you want to call it.
Joe, yeah. I'll let you finish.
Described as having a shelled casket-like body, is approximately 6 to 8 feet long, has 4 long and wobbly legs that cause it to be unsteady, swaying from side to side, front to back as it walks. Now, not only were the Mormons the first to report the creature, but they may also have happened to witness its extinction. So as they
of course,
as they were traveling through, one of the Mormons was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go like check this out real quick. You guys go on ahead. I'll catch up later." Now, he learned through his investigation that the Terrashots lived in the meadows higher up in the range, where they would just like eat and fuck, and apparently causing them to grow in such numbers to a point where they decided to emigrate, presumably to like the other meadows and grasslands on the other side of the desert that they could see from their elevated vantage point. So they formed a single file procession and marched down to the desert to start their journey. But sadly, none of them would make it. Turns out they aren't really built for the heat. So as soon as they got onto the scorching hot sand, their bodies would distend so rapidly from the heat that they would explode. Leaving.
All right.
What do you got?
I'm gonna take this one on a whole new level right here. This just sounds like, Joseph Smith, the Mormon founder. And I did 12 years of private Catholic school, which and I studied, had to, all this stuff inside and out. Joseph Smith was a crazy man.
Oh yeah, he's a con artist. I know.
And
his parents were con artists too.
This was another con, probably, to make up. And also, like, does it sound similar, like trying to march across the desert and dying to like another religion?
Well, I mean, the Mormons weren't blowing up and dying. No,
the Mormons weren't, but the cryptids were, or what they called the demons or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Does it sound similar to another story about people marching across the desert and dying who might have held different beliefs than the Mormons?
Nothing's coming to mind.
The Jews, the Christians, the Islam, everything else from the Middle East, everyone marched across the desert because that's how it was there all the time. And there's a story in every book.
But that's just also where all the people were. So, I mean, of course people are going to die in the desert, Jamie.
I think that was just a hustle for the chosen people. At least they, a hustle for what Joseph Smith thought was the Mormon church, which, I mean, they apparently did a good job.
I will say this: if a Mormon invented this story, it is the least fantastical story they've come up with, considering everything else built around what they believe. Sorry to disparage any Mormon listeners we have. Just know that
it's fine. Mormons are fine. I've known some great Mormons.
Oh, yeah.
I know some great ex-Mormons.
Yeah, just know that your whole world is a lie and that we don't.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the Terrashots would explode, leaving deep grave-shaped holes in the ground below them, and that's the story of the Terrashots.
Do you think it was a cover-up that they just killed a bunch of random people they saw for resources? They killed a bunch of random people they saw for resources, and they were like, "Yo, they were demons, and we also ate their bodies."
Yeah. Now look at all these. Now look at all these grave-sized holes we dug, and then I mean,
makes sense, right?
Hey, podcast lovers. My name is Haley, and I run the Don't Identify podcast. I have been passionate about helping the unidentified get their names back ever since I found out I lived within miles of where Sherry Ann Jarvis, formerly known as the Walker County Jane Doe, was found. In my podcast, I tell the stories and provide information about unidentified people in hopes of reaching their loved ones and getting their names back. So come join me and help me advocate for these people. You never know, you could recognize someone's story.
Ready for this one?
What is this?
So this one's called the Whirling Whimpus.
All right, great name.
Right off the bat, solid fucking name.
Sounds like a Midwest emo band.
Oh shit, dude! I bet if I go on Spotify right now, I could find a band called the Whirling Whimpus. But rumored to live in the Cumberland Mountains of Tennessee, the Whirling Whimpus is thought to be behind many disappearances in the area, and the reason why those who left logging camps by themselves never returned. According to woodsmen who have been in the region for a while, claim the Whimpus is a bloodthirsty creature. Now, its top half resembles that of a gorilla and has massive front feet with smaller back feet. You look upset.
I'm not going to say anything until you finish the story.
Now,
wait. What year was this?
Oh my God, Jamie, I don't know. This book came out in 1910, so this could have been told a million times between 1776. This is all from the same book.
This is all from the 1910 book.
This is all from the book that I got this from.
Okay.
Now, if a large-footed top half gorilla in the North American woods wasn't wild enough, the way it goes about attacking its prey is fucking batshit insane. So what it will do is it'll post up on a trail, usually like on a bend or a curve, where it will stand on its tiny back feet and then just start spinning. It'll start spinning and spinning and spinning, gaining so much speed that it becomes pretty much invisible to the naked eye. Now, the motion is so fast, it even makes a sort of like droning noise, that sounds as though if it's coming like through the treetops. So if someone or like something were walking down the trail and didn't recognize the sound, it would walk right into what the book calls the danger zone and then, quote, become instantly deposited in the form of syrup or varnish upon the huge paws of the Whimpus. Now, I assume that means it's moving so fucking fast and with such force, you basically liquefy when
It obliterates
when he
it.
hits you, and then he
Yeah.
just kind of sucks the goo off of his fingers, like when Augustus Gloop was like eating from the chocolate river in Willy Wonka. That's what I picture.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh my God, that's a good one.
it's like a fucking Tasmanian devil from the cartoon,
Yeah.
like just wild.
That not only breaks like the laws of physics, it breaks the a whole bunch.
It breaks the laws of
barriers.
God.
Yeah, it's like man, yeah, like you said, a Tasmanian devil. But the funny thing is that real Tasmanian devils like don't even spin
No,
like that.
I feel like
And
I
it's-
feel like I'm breaking you mentally with all these stories.
You are, like I said, man, it's been like a long 6 months. I've been inside a lot in case the beard and hair didn't show that to
Mhm.
you. So it's just
I'm glad I could further help with your mental health.
It's
now
just
you're gonna be
good.
thinking
No.
about this shit.
This is the best thing for it, honestly.
All right, before we move on
Honestly,
to the
like no, hold on. I,
yeah, you got it,
want to
yeah.
think about this last one a little bit more.
take your time.
I
can edit out any
I'm-
long pauses if you want to take a minute.
Yep. I'm gonna compare it to I think what they saw. Who were the people that saw this?
Like no one really. These are all just like tales that like lumberjacks would tell other lumberjacks at camp, people that were new to the camp, or like use as
All right.
cautionary tales to help describe like different like weird shit they saw, weird shit that happened around the camp, or like cautionary tales to like tell people not to wander away, or else the fucking Whirling Whimpus will explode your guts.
Well, the Whirling Whimpus was probably a guy named Steve.
Okay.
And he was probably like, when you're out in the woods working harsh conditions like that for
Yeah.
long periods of times, you tend to use substances. So I'm guessing Steve one day went out, used whatever he did, whatever speed was back in the 17 to 1900s,
Fair.
and was super hungry because they hadn't got deliveries going for a while, and just started swinging his arms like Bart
Just,
in The
start,
Simpsons.
just started fucking flailing.
And if you get in my way, it's your own fault. And I think that's the way that I picture, because that one just seems a little too wild, or someone had a little too much laudanum or something back in the day.
I don't know what
Because
laudanum
that-
is, but I hear it referenced a lot in like old timey TV shows, so maybe.
Yeah, it's technically an opiate based drug, but apparently a lot of famous painters and artists like trip balls off of it all the time.
Oh, so it's a good time, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Love that.
Hopefully I can get some soon. We'll find out.
All right, Jamie, you ready to hear about the last and probably the most relatable one?
Yes.
All
Is
right.
it because it looks like me?
No, it's not. It's not
A crazy look how long these beard hairs go out.
Yeah, it's not a long-haired Lebanese man. This
That'd
is
be a great name for a cryptid though.
that's what I'm gonna start calling you now. Is
Yeah. It's got a good ring to it.
I gotta find an alliteration though. Long-haired Lebanese looker. No, lurker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
That long-haired Lebanese lurker.
Yeah, that's your new nickname from now on.
That's a good one.
All right, so you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
This is my favorite one. There's actually a festival coming up soon based around this one that I'm currently a sponsor of.
That's awesome.
It is called the Squonk.
The Squonk. I honestly might have heard this, but I got to hear what you have to say about it first.
All right. Found only in the hemlock forests of northern Pennsylvania, the squonk is hands down the saddest and probably the most relatable fearsome critter. Constantly depressed and suffering from severe body image issues, the squonk is about the size of a pig, has loose-fitting skin that's covered in warts, and is sometimes said to that it's painful. it thinks that it's so ugly that it's constantly crying and is so ashamed of the fact that it's so ugly that it keeps mostly to itself weeping. According to the book, it's said by those who have seen it to be the most morbid of beasts, which is like, fuck, man, like leave the dude like alone. My God,
Dude, you could have just said it was me. That would have been like much easier. Like you could have just said constantly crying and covered in diseases.
no. I said it's the most relatable. I didn't say it was based on you. Now, now, hunters who have tried to capture the creature, tracking it by its trail of tears, which after reading it out loud, that sentence isn't as good as I thought it was, found that when they get it cornered or like coax it into a sack, it immediately will dissolve into a puddle of its own tears. Now, I don't know if that means it dies or if it's like a weird fucked up Phoenix type deal. I hope it's the latter, because it'd be really sad if it just got so sad and terrified that it died. But fun fact, lumberjacks used to play a joke where they would say they captured the squonk, but then they would just present like a pail of water, which I mean, for the time was probably a really funny joke.
That was an awesome joke back then. And you know what it was?
Kills.
I'm going to get like real deep on you for a second. It was
All right.
probably based after a lumberjack that killed himself.
Oh my God.
And they honestly, a lumberjack who'd been out there for so long probably killed themselves. And they were like, fuck, we don't want, because, you know, suicide was always frowned upon for.
So you're saying this is like a cautionary tale to love yourself?
Yeah, this is a cautionary tale to love yourself, because if you're squonking out in the woods,
if you're
by
squonking,
yourself,
you're ronking.
if you, that should be a bumper sticker. You got to get those, write that down and get them printed up. Like,
No, I have been
now.
toying with the idea because May, when this episode will be released, the first day of May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I have been trying to come up with an idea like a T-shirt / like trading card promo card to like help raise money for the Trevor Project, which helps like LGBTQ at risk youths like dealing with the world, because it's a nightmare right now.
That's awesome, man. It has been a nightmare for everyone.
But maybe I'll do the T-shirt and the trading card to say. I guess that might be insensitive though. If you're squonking, you're ronking. I feel like that might not send the right.
Squonking, but it's just going to confuse everybody. And maybe you can get a bunch of idiots to buy it and donate to the actual right cause,
even if they don't think they're donating to it. That's actually pretty good.
Just because.
So you trick the bigots into supporting a cause they don't know. I like that.
Exactly. Because it has been crazy. It's like God, man. It's like I feel I'm awesome it's awesome that you're doing this for charity, because
well, I gotta figure out what it's gonna be though. I do like if you're squonking, you're ronking though. That's
if you're squonking, you're ronking.
It's not just to confuse. It's not good, but it's so fucking funny,
and it's gonna confuse everybody. And you can make it say whatever message you want.
Yeah,
like, just lie on one forum and say squonking means this whole new thing where like kids are shitting in litter boxes and throwing at each other at school.
Wait, what forms do you think I have to fill out to make a T-shirt?
Nothing. You don't gotta fill out anything. You don't gotta fill out anything. You can make a fucking T-shirt and draw a Sharpie on something.
Oh shit. Well, Jamie,
that's it.
There you have it. That is Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods Part 1. I'm going to do a Part 2 coming TBD. I only did this episode because I couldn't think of what to do. And actually, you know what? Real quick. I do know why I did this episode is because the MetaZoo community, a couple people reached out to me to ask about like certain cryptids in the card game. And
that's awesome.
But they were cryptids, they were like basically cryptids like this. They only were found in this one book in 1910, more like folklore than cryptids, I guess, because these aren't really cryptids. It's more folklore stories. And so one of them was Natron. He reached out to me to ask about the Tripodero. So this one goes out to him. He's probably stopped listening by now if he's listening at all. So we're gonna do that. But Jamie, what did you think of these fearsome critters?
I think it's awesome. I think we need stories in our lives. You know, it keeps us it's what we did before TV and world brains in our pockets that just absorb everything. We told each other stories. We made our own movies. We made our own scripts. We did everything. Whether they're true or not, it obviously matters to an extent, but the best thing was we kept each other entertained, and it built a sense of community around that,
Yeah.
talking to each other.
Well, it's funny you say that because when I actually interviewed the creator and CEO of MetaZoo, the card game that's based off cryptids, and he said the same.
Oh, I didn't know it was based off cryptids.
Yeah, the whole card game is cryptid based. Every single
I didn't.
it's cryptid, folklore, all that stuff. It's awesome. But I was telling him like how important is like, because like I could have came up with a card game about cryptids and like not give a fuck about the stories behind them, but they're like really dedicated to like making sure that these stories don't get lost. Like even the flavor text on the cards, like they have that like in Magic. Like even
Absolutely. I played Magic for all growing up. I'm back playing it again now that I got a broken wrist, and
but like even the flavor text on the cards like gives you like a little bit of the backstory behind it.
Yeah.
And like podcasts like this and like some other cryptid podcasts like the Moth Boys and stuff like that. Like I think like keeping these stories out there, because if a book in 1910, no one's gonna fucking go to the library and look for a book that was in 1910. You know what I mean? Like, so getting these, keeping the tales and the traditions alive of telling these stories, I think is really important. But I also could just be an idiot and not really think that. But
no, it's absolutely important. I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's because without that, we have nothing. I mean, think of how much info they're trying to wipe from us. They're banning books.
Yeah.
They're stuff from the internet's being banned. And it's like how everything used to be passed down was word of mouth.
Yeah.
And
now they can't silence me because I have this podcast.
Yeah, that's right. It's seriously an important thing. It's an important thing because there's a lot of other idiots out there spewing hatred and nonsense.
Yeah.
That's just awful.
And we're just having fun.
That's all it comes down to.
Well, Jamie, I want to thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate it. It was good talking to you. I haven't talked to you in a minute, so it was really fun.
Yeah, man. I miss you, brother. Anytime you want to come out here, you got a spot. You and Ali got a spot.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, do you have anything to plug? Are you working on anything right now, or am I just?
At the moment, I could plug some work, but legally, I technically can't because it's
DOJ type of stuff, huh?
No, it's worse. It's worse than the DOJ.
You're honestly. A pop punk band now, huh?
God, how'd you know that? Jesus.
All right.
No, I'd love to, but what I will plug is I've always been an open source programming advocate.
Yeah.
Share your ideas, share your views, make the world smarter, be a good person, do what you can. You can learn anything you want on the internet without having to pay $160,000 for it. So
you heard the man.
That, all the
don't go to school, don't get a degree, just fucking have at it.
It's not going to matter unless you know how to grow food in your backyard in 10 years.
All right, Alex Jones, let's all just calm down.
Oh, come on, the frogs. That's the next MetaZoo character right there.
The gay frogs.
The gay frogs.
All right, so what do I got to plug? I got to plug, follow me on Instagram at Cryptid Cocktail. We also have a Ko-Fi. If you want to donate to that, it's ko-fi/ ko-fi/ God damn it. ko/fi.com/Cryptid Cocktail Party. You can either do a one-time donation or you can do a recurring monthly donation, whatever you want. Keep an eye out for maybe a t-shirt and promo card set coming out soon to help raise money for the Trevor Project. And I think that's it. So with that, I will say goodbye to Jamie, and Jamie will say goodbye to you.
Take it easy, guys. Be well to each other.